Get ready for an electrifying challenge. Welcome to Space Quiz. Today, we'll test your biology knowledge with amazing questions. Give a like now and unlock the superpower of photographic memory. And stay until the end for the surprise question. Don't forget to share your answer in the comments. Ready? Let's go. What is the powerhouse of the cell? Nucleus, mitochondrion, or ribosome? Mitochondrion. The mitochondrion is known as the powerhouse of the cell because it generates most of the cell's supply of ATP, used as a source of chemical energy. Which process do plants use to convert sunlight into chemical energy? Photosynthesis, respiration, or transpiration? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize foods with the help of chlorophyll. What is the basic unit of life? Atom, molecule, or cell? The cell is the smallest unit of life that can replicate independently, and cells are often called the building blocks of life. Which macromolecule is primarily responsible for storing genetic information? DNA, RNA, or protein? DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, stores genetic information in the sequence of its nucleotides, which is essential for the development and functioning of living organisms. What is the process by which cells divide to produce two daughter cells? Mitosis, meiosis, or binary fission? Mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division that results in two daughter cells, each having the same number and kind of chromosomes as the parent nucleus. Which organelle is responsible for protein synthesis? Ribosome, lysosome, or Golgi apparatus? Ribosomes. Ribosomes are the molecular machines within cells that facilitate the synthesis of proteins by translating messenger RNA. What type of bond holds the two strands of DNA together? Hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, or covalent bonds? Hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds between complementary nucleotides hold the two strands of DNA together, forming the double helix structure. Which process involves the movement of water across a selectively permeable membrane? Diffusion, osmosis, or filtration? Osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane from a region of lower solute concentration to a region of higher solute concentration. What is the main pigment involved in photosynthesis? Chlorophyll, carotene, or xanthophyll? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment found in the chloroplasts of plants that absorbs light energy used to carry out photosynthesis. Which nitrogenous base is found in RNA but not in DNA? Thymine, uracil, or cytosine? Uracil. Uracil is a nitrogenous base found in RNA that replaces thymine, which is found in DNA. What is the term for a change in the DNA sequence? Mutation, transcription, or translation? Mutation. A mutation is a change in the nucleotide sequence of the genome of an organism, which can lead to variations in gene expression. Which process converts glucose into pyruvate, generating ATP in the absence of oxygen? Glycolysis, Krebs cycle, or electron transport chain? Glycolysis. Glycolysis is the process that breaks down glucose into pyruvate, producing ATP, and can occur anaerobically without oxygen. What is the role of the enzyme DNA polymerase in replication? Joining fragments, unwinding DNA, or synthesizing DNA? Synthesizing DNA. DNA polymerase is responsible for synthesizing new DNA strands complementary to the template strand during replication. Which biome is characterized by permafrost? Tundra, desert, or rainforest? Tundra. The tundra biome is known for its permafrost, a layer of permanently frozen soil beneath the surface. What is the main component of the plant cell wall? Cellulose, protein, or chitin? Cellulose. The plant cell wall is primarily made of cellulose, which provides structural support and rigidity to the cell. What is the term for the movement of genes from one population to another? Mutation, genetic drift, or gene flow? Gene flow. Gene flow is the transfer of genetic material from one population to another, which can lead to changes in allele frequencies within a population. What type of symmetry do starfish exhibit? Radial, bilateral, or asymmetrical? Radial. Starfish exhibit radial symmetry, meaning their body parts are arranged around a central axis. Which organ is primarily responsible for detoxifying chemicals in the body? Liver, kidney, or pancreas? Liver. The liver is the primary organ responsible for detoxifying chemicals, metabolizing drugs, and producing bile for digestion. What is the name of the process where mRNA is decoded to produce proteins? Transcription, translation, or replication? Translation. Translation is the process by which ribosomes decode mRNA to synthesize proteins in a sequence dictated by the genetic code. What do we call the symbiotic relationship where both species benefit? Parasitism, mutualism, or commensalism? Mutualism. Mutualism is a type of symbiotic relationship in which both organisms involved derive a benefit. What type of macromolecule are enzymes? Proteins, lipids, or carbohydrates? Proteins. Enzymes are proteins that act as biological catalysts, speeding up chemical reactions in the body. What is the role of hemoglobin in the human body? Transport oxygen, fight infections, or produce energy? Transport oxygen. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body and returns carbon dioxide back to the lungs. What is the term for the process of programmed cell death? Apoptosis, necrosis, or differentiation? Apoptosis. Apoptosis is a regulated process of cell death that is a normal part of growth and development in organisms. What are the building blocks of proteins? Amino acids, fatty acids, or nucleotides? Amino acids. Proteins are made up of amino acids, which are linked together by peptide bonds to form long chains. Which organelle is responsible for packaging and transporting proteins in eukaryotic cells? Golgi apparatus, ribosome, or endoplasmic reticulum? Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus modifies, sorts, and packages proteins and lipids for storage or transport out of the cell. What is the primary function of white blood cells? Carry oxygen, defend against infection, or regulate blood sugar? Defend against infection. White blood cells are part of the immune system and help the body fight infections and other diseases. What type of blood vessels carry blood away from the heart? Veins, arteries, or capillaries? Arteries. Arteries are blood vessels that carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. What is the genetic material of most viruses? DNA, RNA, or proteins? RNA. Many viruses, such as the influenza virus, use RNA as their genetic material. What is the smallest bone in the human body? Stapes, ulna, or fibula? Stapes. The stapes, located in the middle ear, is the smallest bone in the human body and helps in hearing. What is the main excretory product of the kidneys? Bile, urea, or glucose? Urea. Urea, a nitrogenous waste product, is excreted by the kidneys in urine. Which biome has the greatest biodiversity? Rainforest, desert, or tundra? Rainforest. Tropical rainforests are known for their high biodiversity, containing more species than any other biome on Earth. What is the name of the pigment that gives skin its color? Melanin, keratin, or hemoglobin? Melanin. Melanin is a pigment produced by cells called melanocytes and determines skin color. What is the name of the process by which a single organism produces offspring identical to itself? Sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, or budding? Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction involves a single parent and produces offspring that are genetically identical to the parent. What is the term for the layer of gases that surrounds the Earth? Atmosphere, biosphere, or lithosphere? Atmosphere. The atmosphere is the layer of gases surrounding Earth, providing oxygen and regulating temperature. What type of organism is capable of photosynthesis? Fungi, algae, or animals? Algae. Algae are photosynthetic organisms that convert sunlight into energy, similar to plants. What is the term for an animal that eats both plants and animals? Herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore? Omnivore. Omnivores have a diet that includes both plant and animal matter, like bears and humans. Which organ in the human body produces insulin? Liver, pancreas, or stomach? Pancreas. The pancreas produces insulin, a hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. What is the primary role of chloroplasts in plant cells? Energy storage, photosynthesis, or protein synthesis? Photosynthesis. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll and are the site of photosynthesis, where light energy is converted to chemical energy. What is the study of heredity and the variation of inherited characteristics? Genetics, biology, or ecology? Genetics. Genetics is the branch of biology that studies genes, heredity, and variation in living organisms. What is the most abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere? Oxygen, nitrogen, or carbon dioxide? Nitrogen. Nitrogen makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere, while oxygen is about 21%. What is the name of the process where plants lose water through their leaves? Transpiration, photosynthesis, or respiration? Transpiration. Transpiration is the process by which water evaporates from the stomata of plant leaves. What is the function of red blood cells? Transport oxygen, fight infections, or clot blood? Transport oxygen. Red blood cells contain hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen and transports it to tissues throughout the body. What is the process of water movement from roots to leaves in plants called transpiration, osmosis, or capillary action? Capillary action. Capillary action, along with transpiration, helps water move from the roots to the leaves through xylem vessels. What is the organelle responsible for cellular respiration? Mitochondrion, ribosome, or chloroplast? Mitochondrion. The mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell, where cellular respiration occurs to produce ATP. What is the term for a group of ecosystems with similar climates and organisms? Habitat, biome, or community? Biome. Biomes are large regions characterized by specific climate conditions, flora and fauna, such as deserts or rainforests. What type of skeleton do insects have? Exoskeleton, endoskeleton, or hydrostatic skeleton? Exoskeleton. Insects have an exoskeleton made of chitin, which provides support and protection. What is the name of the process by which green plants make their food using sunlight? Photosynthesis, respiration, or digestion? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis allows plants to convert light energy into chemical energy stored in glucose. What is the main nitrogenous waste in humans? Ammonia, urea, or creatinine? Urea. Urea is the primary nitrogenous waste excreted in human urine, produced from the breakdown of amino acids. What is the primary energy currency of the cell? ATP, NADPH, or glucose? ADP. Adenosine triphosphate, ATP, is the molecule that provides energy for cellular processes. What is the study of the interactions between organisms and their environment? Ecology, botany, or genetics? Ecology. Ecology is the branch of biology that studies the relationships between organisms and their environments. Thank you. See you next time. Goodbye.